Tom and Jerry. We've all heard of it, we've all watched it. It's one of the most legendary and beloved cartoon shows of all time, a true classic. Its themes are timeless, the episodes are endlessly rewatchable, it's the epitome of slapstick humor, and I can never get enough of those two bastards running around the house and beating the life out of each other. And I'm sure you're all with me on this one. I don't see how someone could possibly have a problem with something like Tom and What? Violent? What? No, this can't be right. What? Are you fucking kidding me? No, there has to be a mistake. These are just some random articles, few and far between. Ladies and gentlemen, it's over. The fight is done. The Karens of the world have won. Angry moms all around the globe rejoice in victory. They did it. They outed Tom and Jerry for the crime against humanity it always was, rotting our children for decades in secret, tainting their minds, making them into cold-hearted serial killers. No, but in all seriousness, this is how you know we're fucked. I mean, for real. It's Tom and fucking Jerry, a kid's show about a cat and a mouse and their adventures. Is nothing off limits nowadays? Okay, challenge accepted. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to randomly pick an episode of Tom and Jerry, and I'm gonna rip it apart. 2022 style. Right, let's see here. Episode 6. Puss in Toots. Well, that's a great start. The title's offensive right off the bat, clearly sneaking in profanity and passing it off as a cute nickname. Let's dive in. Well, obviously this lion was caged and kept indoors against his will, so MGM could get this in their logo. This show is promoting animal cruelty. I knew it. And don't think I didn't notice the improper placement of the apostrophe in the title. They put it at the end of the letter N, when in reality it should be both in front and behind it. Creating terrorists is one thing, but this show is creating terrorists who can't spell. Disgusting. Characters laughing at a suffering animal. Again, animal cruelty. And look at this. A woman dressed in maid's clothing, suggesting that women are only good for cleaning. And she's black too. African American. So not only are we teaching our children to be misogynistic, but actively stating that racial minorities are worth less? This show is unhinged. White. Of course. No diversity in cats. I should have expected as much. So Tom, a male cat, is in love with a female cat. You know, it's so typical of this show to display hatred toward same-sex marriage. I, for one, know for a fact that Tom is gay, but is clearly hiding it because he's afraid of being laughed at. Yeah, I bet Adolf Hitler wrote this episode himself. Wait, is this supposed to be Cupid? Of Greek mythology? How dare this hellspawn show try and force another country's beliefs onto me? As a non-binary, omega-sexual she-man, I'm highly offended. Women are independent and strong, thank you very much. They don't need you to mansplain to them how to catch a fish, Tom. It's no wonder slavery went on for as long as it did, with shows like these presenting it as something to laugh at. Wow. I mean, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, those articles were on point. Just look at the violence on screen right now. Look! Our children watch these shows, for God's sake. Is nothing sacred anymore? And what's this? Tom is defying the laws of gravity. Clearly this was put in as a message to our young ones, not to listen to science, for it is all a lie. The earth is flat. Those cowards just don't want to admit it. How did this amount of animal gore manage to get past censorship? Awful. Wow. I'm shook. Such a shameless attack on Asian cultures. I mean, just look at this act of war. This is more offensive than the diarrhea I had last night. This demonic piece of television just showed our children that the best way to get what we want is to kill anyone who stands in our way. I agree, Mr. Sedek. This show clearly promotes terrorism in its purest form. Jerry, by God, that woman didn't give you consent! The travesties we've witnessed on this day, ladies and gentlemen. Cruelty toward animals, racism, sexism, and now rape? The lengths this show won't go to make our children into weapons of unholy war. And what, is this all that this cat is to you poonhounds? A trophy wife? No personality, no ambition, no sense of self, only a piece of meat for you men to stick your dick in. No wonder this world is in shambles when ghastly evil doings like this cartoon show are being passed off as children's entertainment. Oh, and this font, it offends me too. It stands for white supremacy or something. Look. Every new generation of parents thinks they cracked the code on how to raise the perfect kid, but they haven't. You haven't. And just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. Bottom line, shut the fuck up and stop getting so butthurt about everything. Good night.